also immigration is key, or the movement of peoples in an efficient, orderly manner. Just like anything, I mean, you would want a way to make it easy for people to move their families, because when you have that, it puts pressure on their home countries to provide a product or a living, you know, a lifestyle that is competitive with their neighbors. And so, but people should be able to move anywhere they want to move, and the country itself has allowed that. You know, there are different reasons why a country would hold off on immigration. However, you wouldn't have those reasons if you allowed for proper immigration, because the product would be greater. And so it that strikes at the heart of country B's economy and lifestyle, because when you have illegal immigration, you create black markets for people. People become the product, and they move people to take part in your economy, if it's better, and you create a means by which you can overthrow your own country, because you have an increase in crime, which leads to political corruptness, and then there you go. Now you have decisions being made on not whether or not they're good for the people, but whether or not they're good for the politician, more so, which is, that's common in politics, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. And it shouldn't, based on the rules, okay, the rules themselves are pretty cut and dry. It's just you get political power in there to, well, but for my company, but for these people, but for that, and for this. No, everybody has the right to life. Everybody has the right to work. Everybody has the right to be fired. Everybody has the right to pay taxes, but not too much, but not too little. And when you have immigration, that's easy. That, okay, you want to move countries? Are you a felon? Are you a criminal? Okay. What are you going to do here? Okay. You don't have to say, if they want to, just like in college, when you apply for college, they say, well, what are you going to do here? You don't have to, you could say, I want to be a pediatrician someday, but you could go work at the farm. You can do anything you want as long as you're not a criminal. You know what I mean? And here's your family. You come over here, if you start working, you do your own thing. We have some support, but we're not going to do everything for you. You know what I mean? But you want to be able to attract people. As a country, one of the reasons why America has been so great is because of the ratio of immigrants that we've had. They start small businesses. They do great. People who come over here and have freedom and a good place to play, to start their business, to have low crime, to do their thing, become very successful. And those are the kind of people that you want. People who want to go to your country. But we have our mentality here is, hold on to the ship, it's sinking. And then it tips over and we're like, rats on a log. But the founding fathers imagined a place where, not all of them, but some of them, as we see, a lot, that each person was born with inalienable rights, and they were fleeing tyranny and different things like that. So they were immigrants. All of them were immigrants. This was not their land. And if we have to play the hand that we have. And it's a big deal, the treatment of immigrants. If we do not treat the people who come to our country well, it sends a message that we're not good to do business with, And it allows for other countries, like, let's say, Iraq, to, if they have no option to move, the politicians know that. if you make it easy to move, you lower the bar for other countries to make it easier for them to move. But we can't have, you know, political systems coming into our system and then using our political system to empower their political system. They can't come over here and expect us to, you know, wear Habibs or you know what I mean. They can do whatever they want as long as it doesn't disobey our laws, which means they can't be stoning their daughters. They can't be, you know, blowing people up and different things like that. Of course, you know, and they can't proliferate ideas in our country that lead to that at all. That's hate speech. It's against our rules. You know, that's I don't care what you call it. We're not going to have people. You know, we can't have people saying we need to kill this people. You know, this. You know, we don't have that in our country, and we don't do that. We stand for freedom, and so, but it's essential to have an efficient way, because if you have immigrants come into the country easily, you can give them IDs, you can tax them, you don't create a criminal society, then the guys that try and come in sneaky, well, they've got something to hide, and it's easier to catch one than 10,000, right? So that's my take on that. You know, you also you increase the chances that your business connections between you and that country will increase, because when you have a free flow of people, right? It's a competitive, but it's when you have companies that just feel like they've got their people, they're not as likely to grow. They won't take on more people because they've got their people. And then their company's smaller. They can't, you know, when you do business with your countries right close to one another, you grow. You ping pong off each other, and you know, especially when you take care of your people, you know. So that's another thing. That's a leg that you cannot do without.